This is Trade Flow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. Trade Flow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Oil prices were mostly flat on Tuesday as data showing China's economy was still struggling with a post-pandemic recovery offset expectations of an extension in supply cuts by leading OPEC Plus members Saudi Arabia and Russia. Brent crude futures for November fell 9 cents, or 0.10%, to $88.91 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude, WTI, October futures rose 34 cents, or 0.4%, to $85.89 at 0315 GMT. Saudi Arabia is widely expected to extend voluntary oil cuts into October, and Russia will unveil a new OPEC Plus supply cut deal this week, according to its deputy prime minister.
Portfolio investors have become less bearish about the outlook for U.S. crude oil prices as inventories fall, but the rest of the petroleum complex continued to see light selling at the end of the seasonal holiday slowdown. Hedge funds and other money managers purchased the equivalent of 19 million barrels in the NYMEX and ICE U.S. crude, WTI, futures and options contracts over the 7 days ending on August 29. As a result, the WTI net position rose to 153 million barrels, 14th percentile for all weeks since 2013, up from a low of just 46 million, the second lowest on record, on June 27.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Saudi Arabia may taper its oil supply cuts when prices reach $90 to $100 a barrel, Gary Ross, CEO of Black Gold Investors and a veteran OPEC watcher, told the APPEC conference on Monday. Saudi Arabia is widely expected to roll over a voluntary oil cut of 1 million barrels per day for a fourth consecutive month into October. Brent was trading above $88 on Monday.
Nigeria has sufficient natural gas reserves and can increase its production to more than 5 billion cubic feet per day by 2030, Ekperipe Ekpo, Nigeria's Minister of State for Gas, told the Gastech conference on Tuesday in Singapore. In Nigeria, it has been declared a decade of gas from 2020 to 2030. So by 2030, we'll get to 5.5 billion cubic feet on daily production, 57 billion cubic meters a year. Ekpo said, adding that there were funds available to finance expansion, without elaborating. Nigeria's gas output declined by nearly 11% from the previous year to 40.4 BCM in 2022, down from over 49 BCM a year in 2019 and 2020, according to industry body the Energy Institute. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Copper prices fell on Tuesday, weighed down by rising inventories in exchange warehouses and concerns about demand amid subdued economic data from top consumer China. 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange, LME, declined 0.3% to $8,428 per metric ton by 0226 GMT, while the most traded October copper contract on the Shanghai Futures Exchange, SHFE, shed 0.6% to 69,320 yuan, $9,508.79 a ton. Inventories of copper in LME registered warehouses rose to 107,425 tons, the highest since October 2022, with most deliveries in August going into warehouses in the United States, South Korea and Taiwan.
Gold prices edged lower on Tuesday as the dollar stood firm near recent highs, although trading was subdued with traders looking for more cues on the U.S. Federal Reserve's policy path after a widely expected interest rate pause this month. Spot gold was down 0.1% at $1,936.19 per ounce by 0607 GMT. U.S. gold futures fell 0.3% to $1,961.70 after a U.S. holiday on Monday. Much remains to be seen if rate cuts in 2024 follow and to what extent, said Harshal Barrett, a senior consultant at Metals Focus, adding that the possibility of U.S. rates remaining higher for longer would keep gold price rallies in check.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Chicago wheat futures rose on Tuesday, regaining some of last week's lost ground, as expectations of lower output in key exporting countries, including Australia, underpinned the market. Corn and soybeans rose with expectations of dry weather in the U.S. Midwest likely to hit yields. Australia's lower output estimate was expected, but the weather in September is key, said a Singapore-based trader. The most active wheat contract on the Chicago Board of Trade, CBOT, was up 1% at $6.01 minus 1/4 a bushel, as of 04:06 GMT, having given up more than 4% last week. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to Trade Flow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.